Script, stop. The next time someone hurts you, insults you, or tries to provoke you, say nothing. Watch what happens. Because the moment you go silent, something shifts in them you were never meant to see. They expected your anger. They were ready for your defense. But your silence gives them nothing to fight, and it terrifies them more than any words ever could. The strongest people in this world are not the loudest. They are the ones who learned that silence is a weapon. Almost no one knows how to defend against .NN music. Low ominous drone begins. According to Friedrich Nietzsche, most people speak not because they have something to say, but because they are afraid of what silence reveals. They fill every pause, answer every insult, explain themselves endlessly, and in doing so, they hand away their power piece by piece. But the person who can stay silent, who can hold their tongue while others scramble to fill the air, possesses a strength the noisy will never understand. .NN Nietzsche understood this long before our time. He knew that what you withhold often carries more force than what you reveal, and that the loudest response is frequently the weakest one. Tonight, I will show you why your silence terrifies the people who try to control you, and how to wield it. Pay close attention until the end, because the fifth reason reveals the deepest power of silence, the one that changes who you are. .NN first. Silence removes the reaction they were hunting for. Imagine the scene. Someone provokes you, an insult, a jab, a cruel remark, and then they wait. They are not waiting for nothing. They are waiting for your reaction, because your anger is the prize. It proves they reached you, that they have power over your emotions. But when you offer silence instead, you starve them of the one thing they wanted. Nietzsche understood that the provoker feeds on the response. It's not that you have nothing to say. It's that you refuse to be their meal. Ask yourself, when I react, am I defending myself, or simply feeding the person who wanted me to? NN second. Silence makes you impossible to read, and the unreadable cannot be controlled. The person who reveals every thought, every feeling, every reaction becomes predictable, and the predictable are easily managed. But the one who holds something back becomes a mystery, and mystery is power. People cannot manipulate what they cannot predict. Nietzsche understood that the soul which keeps its own depths becomes a force others cannot grasp. It's not that you are hiding, it's that you have stopped handing people the map to your mind. Ask yourself, have I given people so much access that they always know exactly which buttons to press? NN third. Silence forces them to confront themselves. As long as you argue, you give them an opponent to blame. Your raised voice becomes their excuse, proof that you are the problem. But when you say nothing, you remove the distraction entirely. There is no enemy left to fight. Only them, alone, with the echo of what they did. And that silence becomes a mirror they cannot look away from. Nietzsche believed that most people flee from honest self-examination because it is unbearable. It's not cruelty. It's the consequence they created for themselves. Ask yourself, am I the chaos they blame, or the silence that finally exposes them? NN fourth. Silence protects your energy from people who would drain it. Every argument you enter, every insult you answer, every provocation you take the bait on, it costs you. It drains your peace, clouds your mind, and hands your energy to someone who does not deserve a single drop of it. The resentful provoke you precisely to pull you into a cycle that exhausts you. Nietzsche spoke of mastering oneself, the strength to direct your own energy toward your growth rather than waste it on conflict. It's not avoidance, it's preservation. It's not that you cannot fight. It's that you refuse to bleed for people who are not worth the wound. Ask yourself, is this worth the peace it will cost me? NN. And now, the fifth reason, the deepest of all. Silence is where you stop performing and finally become yourself. Listen closely. The constant need to respond, to explain, to defend, to be understood by everyone. It is a kind of slavery. It chains you to the opinions of others, to their reactions, to their approval. But when you learn to be silent, truly silent, you reclaim something most people lose forever. The freedom to no longer need the world's validation. You stop performing your life for an audience and begin living it for yourself. Nietzsche understood that the highest task of a human being is to become who you truly are, and that becoming requires the quiet to hear your own voice beneath the noise of everyone else's. The person who has made peace with silence has made peace with themselves. They no longer need to win the argument, because they no longer need others to agree. It's not that you have run out of words. It's that you have outgrown the need for them. Ask yourself, who would I become if I stopped needing the last word and started needing only my own peace? NN. Here is the philosopher's final lesson. Nietzsche never asked you to become cold, mute, or withdrawn from the world. He asked you to become deliberate, to understand that silence is not the absence of strength, but one of its purest forms. Speak when your words carry weight. Stay silent when speaking would only give away your power. And learn the difference, because that difference is where your freedom lives. The noisy will always mistake your quiet for weakness, right up until the moment they realize they cannot move you at all. NN, the loudest person in the room, is rarely the most powerful. True power belongs to the one who can stay silent and let that silence speak for them. NN. So tell me in the comments, have you ever silenced someone simply by refusing to react? Which reason struck you the most? The reaction you stopped feeding, the energy you finally protected, or the fifth, the silence that gave you back to yourself? If this lesson reached you, leave the word silence below to show you watched until the end. And remember, when you stop explaining yourself to those determined to misunderstand you, your silence becomes the one answer they can never argue with. Subscribe to Daily Philosophy to discover more lessons inspired by Friedrich Nietzsche, human psychology, and the quiet art of becoming who you are.